Hello.
Howdy.
How are you?
I'm well.
I only saw you like zipping by in a vehicle a few weeks ago. Sorry,
Oh,
because I
that
was
was
talking was
you.
talking to well, I was standing out there with Norm and Matthew, your husband,
Right. And I
and you
I
zipped by,
pulled
shouted
the
something at
dog.
Matthew, and yeah, and then
Okay.
he said, "Don't be
Well,
alarmed, that's my wife." And then uh I think we just got off on. And when I mentioned I do this film show, he goes, "Well, that my wife there runs the Nantucket Film Festival." And I thought, "Oh, that's a funny coincidence because I was waiting for Lori at the train just to get there. That's why I was there."
oh, for Lori Benson.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So our circles probably cross over a
Oh,
million
oh, I'm
ways.
certain we've been, at things together because, at whether Doc NYC in the past or Nant or the Hamptons or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do with Woodstock these days?
Well, one thing that's coming up, I mean, I can't really talk about very much in detail on officially, so but I'm doing some. I was listed as contributing programmer,
Okay.
and I'm also going to head there off there or contribute to the. They started a podcast. I mean, legally, I guess now everyone is sanctioned. You have to. You probably have one.
We don't. I
You may
don't.
not be aware of it, but you have to. So
Right, probably. I mean, we don't have one officially, but we've been recording radio shows and podcasts at the Nantucket Film Festival for actually quite some time. So we've done but they're other people's, not just ours.
right, got
That's
it. Like I'll sometimes over the years I've sort of embedded myself at a festival and just done, you know, podcasting. So
cool.
it's that yeah. um but it's fun because and just feels great, because it's kind of a one of those strange things because for people that are not in the film community, they can't see these films, but
Some of
they
them.
can put it on
Yeah,
their radar, you
yeah,
know,
yeah. It's
for when
true.
they're distributed.
So you're doing this from your house, and then you send it over to Matt Rosenberg, and then
Well,
he
oh,
edited it?
well, what I've been doing the podcast for many years, and I just edit it. So when I don't do it live, I'll just put the show together. I might go there and do an intro, like with the
Mhm.
guy. It's kind of nice. That's one thing that's been a newish thing for the podcast. I can record intros with Matt and Jen, and then make that because I used to just talk to myself during the intro, or be
Yeah,
alone, and
yeah,
record these intros like coming up, Mystelle Brabbee. Is that get your last name right?
yeah.
Brabbee? Okay.
That's wow.
Well, there's an accent and everything. I mean, but
So
I know you've gone through life with people mispronouncing your name.
wait, are we
Um,
already recording the podcast?
we're
Is this
recording, but I'll edit this part out.
okay? Because I was like,
It probably makes sense. I don't think this part is as exciting as it is. But
so just
but I would love to have done this, but it's tight. I know you're probably leaving for Nantucket in days. So I just like, I didn't want to lose the opportunity to have this opportunity to do this with you. So I just said, let's just get on Zoom, even though we're,
yeah,
not that far apart.
way more fun to go down to the Epicurean, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
put two quick housekeeping questions. A, how long is this? And like, how long are we talking?
We could
Uh,
just talk till, sometime up till 2 or
okay,
it's up to you.
okay. Um,
It's sometimes an organic thing, but go ahead. And number 2?
um, just because I do have another call coming in that I would push off if
No
uh,
need. What time is the call?
it's at 2.
Yeah, we'll
It's
be
at
done.
2. Okay. And you may have answered this because my inbox is a dumpster fire right now. Um, are you wanting to talk about the Nantucket Film Festival at large or this year's program or my
Yeah, I'm
history with
sorry I didn't respond really. You did email me. I did not really respond to that because all of the above. And I don't really have a set agenda. I do want people to know that probably by now people would have made plans to go to the Nantucket because it does require some planning to get to Nantucket. So we'll just say from the onset, now we'll make this part of the show that the Nantucket Film Festival is running from the 21st of June through the 26th.
It is.
Correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And so, having said that, you got to get out to Nantucket. It requires some planning. So if you haven't done it yet, and I don't know, you're still selling tickets and badges and all?
Oh, 100%. In
Right.
fact, individual tickets sales are just going on sale tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Meaning they're currently available because we're
Meaning
not live, right?
they are
Meaning they're
totally
currently
available.
available when people watch this or listen to this. Very
Yes.
good. Okay, great. So that's fantastic. So go to the Nantucket Film Festival, please, by all means. There's
Get
tickets
on
to
a
available.
ferry, drive the
Right.
4 hours to Hyannis, jump on a ferry. They leave every hour. It's only an hour-long ferry. And then try as you might to find affordable housing.
Um, can you also, is there the New York City ferry still running for that 8-10 hour trip or whatever it is?
They actually canceled it this year.
They did cancel. Okay.
But another little sneaky way to get to Nantucket is to drive to the Westchester County Airport and jump on a JetBlue flight. So drive the hour and 10 minutes to White Plains,
Mhm.
and then there's a 43-minute flight, and they're fairly inexpensive.
That's great. That is the way to do it. I mean,
That's great.
well, I shouldn't say that because the other way is an adventure. Think of the whole thing as an adventure, like the getting there, getting home, all the whole thing, and that little film festival in the middle. But it's all part of.
The adventure actually makes the festival experience that much more exciting because you feel like you were really worked to get there, and then you're here and you're isolated, on this island that's 30 miles out to sea.
Mhm.
So you just got to give yourself over to the experience,
Well,
whatever
I'll
it is.
also mention, my partner, who was married before, and as was I, as a footnote. But her kids, they're still, their uncle and aunt who I met recently. They had dinner over with us. Lovely people invited us to. They live year round on Nantucket. So this year, there's one of my girlfriend's her daughter's graduating high school that week, so we can't come. I'm really disappointed about that. However, I will be there absolutely next year. I'm so excited.
I'm gonna mark your words.
Yeah, do. It's going to be, we're going to get out to Nantucket before that, just because I have actually never been and I've been wanting to go. And I almost went a few years ago, but didn't end up getting there. So this is absolutely my fear, though, Mystelle, is that it will become an addictive type of thing where I'll always want to go. And it's going to.
Oh, yeah. And then you'll have to be financially saving for it and schedule wise
No, but we have a place to stay for free.
Oh, that's amazing. So
Yeah.
great. Then
Yeah. I
then
know.
there should be no fear. There should be no fear. It's all
That's
good.
fearless. Okay. And okay, so how long have you been with the Nantucket Film Festival?
Well, I'm gonna give away my age here if I tell you that, but I don't
Really?
care. So I am going on the film festival is going into its 28th year
That's
in June,
amazing.
so next month, and I'm going on my 27th year with the Nantucket
Is that
Film
right?
Festival. Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea. So so the other festivals that you've been involved with, because I did read your email, were concurrent. You
Yeah.
did work with other
Yeah.
festivals as well.
I mean,
Okay.
you've done this. You've seen how festival
Yeah, sure.
hiring works and the way, I mean, our staff, there's very few of us that work year round.
No, I
Um,
understand.
and we've found a really nice rhythm where many of our staffers leave the Nantucket Film Festival and immediately jump into either the Hamptons or Dock NYC, and then immediately jump into Sundance, and then they return to Nantucket. So they find 3 festivals to make a year-round gig per se, and that's how festival
So like
work.
Basil, you're
Yeah,
talking about like him.
Basil.
Okay. Yeah.
Basil did the 3, Dock NYC, Sundance, and the Nantucket Film Festival for many years. That's hard work.
Yeah.
Who knows festival programming, and then got it down to one, got
Oh,
it down to Sundance only, and then
oh,
we
yeah.
just wheeled him back in. this
Oh,
year.
I was wondering. Okay, very good. Um, that's great. You're very persuasive, apparently. So that's good. Um, Interesting. Okay, but yeah, as you who runs the festival, essentially, I mean, it is a year-round job, isn't it? Maybe right after the festival, after you've had some time to rest and
People find it shocking to, when you are putting on a 6-day event, how could you possibly be working on it year round? But I think that there's, as for those people not in the film festival world, might not know, is that, as a film festival, you are doing other things year round. You're running educational filmmaking programs for teens. You've got an online masterclass happening with
mhm.
35 emerging screenwriters and special guests. There's a year-round screening series for the Nantucket year-round
There
residents.
is. Okay. Hmm.
Um,
Fundraising.
Tons of fundraising, board development, staff
Mhm.
development. You get into a lot of your governance. If you want
Mhm.
to have, a nonprofit that runs well and is sustainable, then you have to do all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
You're cleaning up your mission statement, your all the development work that goes into running a nonprofit, applying for grants. And some of that stuff is really paying off for us this year. We've um for the first time ever, we have, over, I don't know, $150,000 in grants, and usually we're at like $20,000 in grants, just because there's
Wow.
this perception that Nantucket is all wealthy.
Yeah.
It's not. And a nonprofit's a nonprofit. So anyhow, I digress. It's easy to go into the money, but that's not why people are listening to this.
Well, a lot of people that are in the industry do. I think that's a significant portion of my um, subscriber base. Yeah, I imagine so because I did kind of get in the weeds a bit typically, and so yeah.
You
But
open you open the curtains behind organizations or
yeah,
companies, so take a peek into how do you run over there? Yeah.
well, so 28 years this festival you got on. So tell me the origin story a little bit if you could, like how you after the first it ran one season and then they needed somebody. How did that what was the
Not
story?
not not quite. I don't know that they knew they needed me.
Were you there and you just like, "Oh, I can help you with this festival," and then
No, I wasn't there for that first year.
right.
And a brother and sister team by the name of Jill and Jonathan Burkhart,
Oh,
they
yes,
grew
I know
up,
them. They're up
you
here
know
too.
them. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
up here too. So they grew up on Nantucket.
Oh,
They wanted to start a film festival. Jonathan Burkhart was friends with Jonathan Larson, the creator of Rent. He said, "Why don't you give it a focus on writing, given
oh, right,
Nantucket's
the screenwriting.
literary history?" Um, and yeah, the Nantucket has a long standing of being the home to so many literary giants. If only a home for 3 months, but a home for a while they've, there's, you're secluded. So it's a great place to go and write. So yes, the film festival was given that mission by Jonathan Larson. And shortly after the first Nantucket Film Festival, I met somebody who had worked on it, and it sounded dreamy to me. I'm a Colorado native, so Nantucket just geographically is like
Right.
nothing I've ever witnessed
What
before.
from landlocked
Yeah,
to
like
sea
little,
locked.
just like sea life, marine
Yeah.
life,
Right.
little rose covered cottages, gray shingled. Everything's gray shingled. Even the Stop and Shop grocery store is gray gray shingled. So I had studied film at NYU, and I just jumped on it, and I volunteered like the next day. And they
Mhm.
were just wrapping the first film festival, and everybody was green and nobody knew what anybody was doing. I think people were just grabbing jobs, like,
Mhm.
I'll program
Mhm.
films. And I think that year they had some challenges with the original programmer. And I took a shine to Jill Burkhart, who was the artistic director, and just started working with her. And I think if you stick around long enough, you learn every single job of a film festival. And then hopefully you're equipped to run it.
Yes.
So
Wow. Well,
that's the
yeah.
origin story.
So you were programming at first, and then did it just
Yeah,
sort of
I
end up?
programmed for many years. Um, and eventually, I don't know, a handful of years, Jonathan Burkhart stepped away. Jill Burkhart became the executive director. I became the artistic director. And I did that for many more years. I mean, when 27 years go by, it's hard to remember, the exact number of years, what you did when. So, and about 12 years ago, I became the executive director. And, but in those early years, I did cut my teeth at the Telluride Film Festival. And then I did a few different summers working with the Hamptons, one season with Doc NYC, all the
Okay.
while returning back to Nantucket when the season began. So really my home base has been Nantucket Film Festival.
Right.
And
And how many films were you programming back? I don't know, like now, even now. I mean,
I mean, we have a smaller program now,
right.
but we've kind of consistently over the years done about 100 films between features and shorts.
Hmm.
Um, and we're smaller right
Yeah.
now as I would, build back our audience and also understand our audience's needs. I don't know how much you want to go into the COVID years, but we quickly figured out, as did many film festivals, that our audience really grew to love some of the things that we created during the pandemic. So we created garden events in these beautiful gardens all around the island, and people loved that opportunity to see a film over here on this side of the island, or hear a talk and attend a party at this house. So it was like
Hmm.
producing um little mini weddings every single night at a different location. And that has, you know, that has remained. That's a part of the film festival, in addition to going back to the theater and the normal morning, noon, and night roster of films. But the roster of films, morning, noon, and night in the theater has been, slimmed down, and hopefully we'll keep going
I
back.
Yeah, I like that. I don't think I think for a festival that's not a bad choice to make, considering how contained that the place is. It's not like, TIFF, where it's the exact opposite, where you have like set, a half dozen locations, and you know, everybody and their mother is there, and uh and do you have like one main cinema?
We do. Our home is the Dreamland Theater. There are really like two screens really in that home, and then another really small one that we could make a third. But Nantucket town, everything's just like a stone's throw. So
Yeah.
you really feel the containment around town, whether we create another cinema, we create other theaters in the actual town theaters,
Hmm.
which is just, one venue is right around the corner from the next. So we have 3 screening venues this year.
Okay. Terrific. And can you walk or
Absolutely.
bike? Okay.
Yeah. You walk. In fact, Nantucket's at its best when you're walking or biking.
All right.
Once you get in the car, you've lost touch with what Nantucket can be.
I like that.
Go slow, get a sense of
Amble.
the place. Yeah. I mean,
Amble.
yeah,
I
beautiful.
like it. I like that a lot. And what was I going to ask you? Oh yeah. So but people should know we're neighbors. I mean, essentially, we live in the Hudson Valley here. Yeah, right. And so during the year, it seems you're not on the island, so gives you the opportunity to actually physically go to festivals if you so chose, right?
Yeah.
So even though you have a programmer or more than one, I don't know, but you still manage, do you still go to the main festivals? I assume you probably hit up with Sundance, and
Yep.
you're not in France right now, but because it's probably too close to the festival to get to Cannes, right?
Yeah, sadly, Cannes will never work for us. Nothing out of Cannes could ever be programmed into the Nantucket
Right.
Film.
Just because of the
So,
timing.
yeah, I mean, we're a we've always been a New York City based operation.
Okay.
Um, and that has sort of allowed us to kind of attend all the happenings, go to screenings,
Mhm.
um, have our meetings. And so it's always been that way. This is the first time I have not lived there. And
So you're
I,
up full time up here?
I am full time in the
Okay.
Hudson. I look at the Hudson River right now.
I could normally, well, I'm where I'm not in my, I'm in my, just so you know, I'm in Claremont,
Nice.
where I have an apartment, which I'm been since I moved up here a few years ago, but I'm giving it up and I'm moving full time to a little further north, up in across from Hudson in Athens.
Oh, I love that town.
It's in a great town, and it's, you can walk out the front door and see the river, but yeah,
I love that little river grill. So
Stewart's,
yeah, and
yeah,
taking the boat across from Hudson.
hmm, yeah,
Charm.
it's a great spot. I mean, yeah, I'm real happy there. Uh,
But to
well,
answer your
mhm.
question about going to other
Oh
festivals,
yeah, hmm,
yeah, that's just a part of the job,
sure.
going to Sundance. That would be
It's
probably that's the beginning of our programming year. We,
mhm.
of course, we take things from Sundance. Um, TIFF is just fun, but really not that applicable to Nantucket in June, just given where it falls in the calendar year. Somebody on our team always goes to South by Southwest. Hot docs, you know, because our programmers also program for other festivals.
Right.
It helps to have that they are going to many different festivals.
Yeah, sure. And as you already have relations again with Hamptons, Doc NYC, and Telluride, right? You didn't mention that.
Well, just historically, but
Yeah,
Doc NYC, Hamptons. I mean, I find that there's certain teams that we rely on each other for information. We information share. We help each other.
sure.
We help each other with staffing. We help each other with press. We help each other. Sometimes we talent share. Um, I think running a film festival can be a challenging endeavor, and you're not the only one doing it. So why not rely on
Leverage.
your
Yeah.
friends who are also doing it?
Right. And that's another main reason to go to the festivals, not just to see movies, but to also see colleagues and friends. Yeah.
Yeah, which I have grown to enjoy
Me
more
too.
and more over the years. I
Yeah.
used to hate going to Sundance, and I actually really, really like it now.
That's good. Great. So again, the Nantucket Film Festival runs from the 21st of June through the 26th of June. And you got panels.
So, because we're a festival that celebrates screenwriting and storytelling,
So that's still a central tenet of the festival is the screenwriting.
100%.
Okay.
And every event that we do there has an eye toward screenwriting or storytelling. So, and that's been since its inception. So we've done a storytelling event for 22 years now, which is it's really a moth style event, getting locals or celebrities who are attending the festival to tell a story. We of course have panels. We have master classes with screenwriters. We often do script readings of unproduced screenplays and cast it and bring in
Oh,
actors,
neat.
give
Uh-huh.
the audience a chance to hear that screenplay, hear the written word.
It's got to be
Um,
so exciting for them. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but we're this year we're doing sometimes we do things in the music realm. This year we're doing a big thing in the food world, believe it or not, 42% of Nantucket year-round families faced food insecurity. So we are doing an event called The Politics of Food, and with Ruth Reichel, who lives up here.
Oh yeah, and I
So,
know I know from speaking to another colleague, Kelly, over in the Berkshires,
uh-huh,
that
yeah.
they're doing a similar type of thing because it's a big topic right now. So food politics is a very, very big topic, especially
Right.
during.
And if you're going to screen Laura Gabbert's film, Food and Country,
Mhm.
with Ruth Reichel, it's a great opportunity to lean
Yes,
into that.
exactly. That's
So
fantastic too. Yeah, and
so
it.
so,
Go ahead.
so to you asked about panels, but I think there's a lot of things that we're doing that um, are panel like,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
let's just say we've eventized the Nantucket Film Festival as probably as even Upstate Films is doing here. I think you can't really make your money on just ticket sales.
Right.
You have to run events
Yeah. Exactly.
around being inspired by cinema.
Absolutely. I mean, and it is. It is a wonderful thing. It's only a great for. It's great for everybody. Um, and when there was a time when you could make your profits that way, you were still losing out because you could have done doing these events all along, and they're so special if you put thought into it.
Right. And I think, but people more and more feel like they need a reason to not watch the film at
On
home
their
on their
right,
laptop, and
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 stream it.
and go and share in the experience with other humans. And I think that's those events are the perfect excuse,
Yeah, that's
and
great.
kind of what people are starved for. They want human interaction. They want that experience. And I think just from my experience, what I can tell right now is that the movies themselves, people have inertia right now. Like these COVID years and streaming, it's just harder, a little bit harder to get them out. TIFF is
Mhm.
different. TIFF is different, but um, I but once you present food and wine and music and something around it, a conversation or a talk, then it's like, oh, wait a minute, I cannot get that at home. I'm going to go to this thing.
People like parties, and in a way, a festival, it done right, it feels like kind of a big party.
Well, right. Isn't that the word festival?
A good point. See, you're much more experienced in this than I am. But yeah. And any other of
I've
this.
thought a lot about this piece.
Yeah.
What makes one want to go to a film festival, myself included?
Yeah,
What?
sure. Or just a screening even. I mean, just even to get people to go out to the movies,
Yeah,
not counting big, obviously huge splashy Hollywood, you know, big tent movies, but everything else. I mean, you kind of do have to do to get people out. Is it takes more um, thought, and that's all. Yeah.
absolutely.
And is there any other special events worth mentioning, since that's kind of what we've been talking about?
Well, I'm really excited about Joan Baez coming.
Oh, she is
Us film people, when we venture into other, yes, I'm not,
arts.
yeah,
Mhm.
other arts. It's exciting. I just grew up on her music, and it's
We
just
all did. Yeah.
really nice to. I'm excited about her coming. I'm excited for for many years so a part of the Nantucket Film Festival is that we've had we do a big tribute to a handful of screenwriters, those who have changed the landscape in American cinema in one way or another. And Brian Williams would host that.
Hmm.
So MSNBC's Brian Williams, or
Yes.
prior to that, NBC's Brian Williams. And then he left the public eye.
Oh.
And so our audience fell in love with him many, many years ago, like 22 years ago. And um, he almost eclipsed some of the screenwriters just because they so looked forward to his 10 minutes of his stand-up comedy, really.
Yeah, amazing how he's just so stone-faced, but he's, when he lets when it comes out, it has a lot more I don't know, power or meaning, because it's just like he can be really funny in his dry.
Oh, I think everybody thought he would go into the late night world when he
Oh, really?
left NBC, and then he didn't. He stayed committed to journalism, and then he retired from that. Now he's a firefighter
He's a
and
volunteer firefighter
a
on the
volunteer.
island.
No, in
Oh,
somewhere in
wherever he
Connecticut.
lives.
But
Okay.
he's coming back, and I'm excited about that.
Oh, he's going to be there this year.
Yes, he's hosting our tribute this year.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
So the comedy stylings of Brian Williams will take place.
I digress. I
That's
digress.
fine. No, this show is all about people digressing, and that's where the special moments usually end up.
So those are the things: Joan Baez, Brian Williams, The Politics of Food with Ruth Reichel, late night storytelling, where we've got all sorts of kooky characters telling stories. And of course, the slate of movies.
And you can go to Nantucket Film
Filmfestival.org.
Festival.org
Yeah.
and sign up for get on the newsletter, subscribe to that on the socials, and keep up with all things Nantucket Film Festival like I do. And it's 2:00, so I do want to respect your time and your schedule. And I think, unless I've screwed up and left anything particularly central or important, crucial out, let me know.
Well, I will. It was great to talk to you. Happy to
Same.
talk again.
Me too.
I won't make
Yeah.
the scheduling so hard.
And I'm really now even more disappointed I won't be there for the festival this year, but as we know, I will be there next year. But when you get back and you've had a few days to kind of recover,
Yeah,
let's meet up and with Matthew and get a coffee or something, and
that sounds great. That sounds good. Give me a holler anytime.
or we can do it, and we can also do a postmortem at the Epicurean too, and do that, finally make that happen when you're up for it.
Sure. And then in February we do this whole thing called screenwriter sessions, and so that's another thing that would be fun, because it's really talking with our highest profile screenwriters out there, from Charlie Kaufman to, I don't know, we've had all sorts of guests, and so
my
that's a
God.
fun one.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Adam. Nice to meet you.
Same here. Thank you.